Yay, we are live. So, hello everybody, happy Tuesday. I'm making sure that everything is working properly on here. So, anyone who is new to my group, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining this community of sacred women, sacred gatherings, and sacred wisdom all about your sacred home. And if you're new, my name is Paula Agudelo, and I am an interior designer, a Kundalini yoga teacher, and I am the owner of Sacred Interiors by Paula and the founder of Sacred Interiors Academy, which is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And I'll tell you more about the Academy later on, but today we are covering week three of the Science of Sacred Interiors. And so we're going all in with the third principle, which is the principle of beautiful doesn't mean expensive. And so in the past weeks, we've covered principle number 1 and 2. And if you haven't had a chance to watch them and learn more about them, you can go to my Facebook group and just browse over the videos, area, and you'll see all the trainings there. You'll see those specific 2 principles we did on the previous weeks, but you'll also have access to a lot of trainings that, cover anything from decluttering your house. So as I was saying, a lot of times, partners move in together or get married, there's a couple of different styles that needs to be merged, right? Maybe someone's really contemporary, someone's really modern, and then other people might be, or the other person might just be, more traditional, maybe has a bit more of a vintage style. Who knows? The possibilities are endless. There's so many different styles to marry. The point is, we can achieve that sort of harmonious and united, cohesive style when we are able to pick little pieces of each style and blend them together. And something I really, really love, this is a tip that might really help you if you are finding yourself in that situation. And even if you have just one style in general, which is using one element of that style, whether it's color, whether it's a material, or whether it's a sense of scale, meaning the size of each piece, and take that same piece, that same element, and use it for every single room. Something I might use in that case, for example, it could be metals, right? Maybe I use black metal, which is very trendy right now and, has also been around for a long time. But let's say we use black curtain rods in one room. So I might carry that same material with, the frame of a table in another room might be also black. Perhaps a chandelier in the bathroom might be black, or maybe a table lamp in another room might be black. So using these different elements throughout different parts of the home and different rooms of the home is a great way to achieve that sense of unity as well. So that's another tip that you can use right away. Mixing different styles and different materials is also a way for your home to feel more classic and more timeless. As fun as a lot of these trendy styles and these very high fashion styles or more modern styles, or even the farmhouse style, as fun as all of these particular styles are, it makes your home quicker to feel outdated when you stick to only one style, right? When everything is in that one style. So I highly, highly recommend to my clients that they mix different pieces of different styles they like. And one way to do that, and one way to recognize what that style might be, is to go back to those Pinterest boards. They are very helpful, even if they often just take you down the rabbit hole. But they are helpful because if you look at them objectively, if you really spend time studying your Pinterest boards and the pictures that you have as inspiration for your room, you can start picking the elements that you consistently like in all of the rooms. So again, maybe it's metals, maybe it's silver that you like, that all the rooms have in common. But silver is something you can use in any style. You can approach it in a modern style, you can approach it in a more traditional style. And the same goes for fabrics, the same goes for colors, and the same goes for sizes, right? Maybe you like large chandeliers versus small ones. Maybe you like large table lamps versus thin ones. That sort of a thing is something you can look at in your Pinterest boards or any inspirational images you have for your rooms to determine, okay, this is something I really, really like, and therefore you know that that's a must-have for your room. So that's something really cool that you can do. And then the other part of these universal laws is also the sense of proportion. And this is really important as well. Proportion is something that most people have a hard time thinking about when they don't have proper design training. And really, proportion, the best way to think of it is what feels like it makes the most sense. So if you want to create an energy of the space, and if you want to create a look that feels very smooth and very easy to navigate, that's just very comfortable and very pleasing, you want to have a sense of scale and proportion that is very consistent, meaning most of your decorating items are around the same size and are around the same sort of visual mass. Most of your furniture pieces are going to be around the same size, right? The chair and the sofa are maybe the same width, maybe they're the same depth, maybe they're just, the same sort of shape, right? So they're both square, or maybe they have sort of round arms, that kind of a thing. But if you're going for something that's more bold, if you're going for something that is a little bit more adventurous, that is calling more attention to one specific thing, then you want to break it up. You want to use either something much smaller to just sort of create that positive and negative space, if you will, or you can use something that's massive, right? Something large is usually going to call for the eye's attention a lot faster. So these are sort of some really cool ways and sort of creative ways that you can play with things you already own. It doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be brand new. Play with proportion and scale in your own house with things you already have. I love helping my clients shop for things within their own house and move things around and see how the energy and the look and the aesthetics of the room changes with just a few different pieces being swapped out. So go ahead and try, using different tables as your nightstands, using garden stools as your nightstands, and playing with that, playing with cookware you have in the kitchen and using it to decorate and to make vignettes for your console tables, for little benches like the one I have behind me. Even just using this as an example, this particular silver tray is something I can use to have an altar like this one, which is where I do a lot of my daily meditation and my daily practice. But I can also use that tray to set a bar area in the kitchen counter and have, wine bottles and glasses of wine, or maybe it can be a tea bar area and you can have a nice pitcher with some really pretty mugs and then use that piece to create an interesting space, a sacred space in your kitchen with a very specific function in mind. It's also something you can use to, if you're having family get-togethers, you can use the tray to carry drinks around, like old style, right? I love doing that. Or sometimes I also use trays like this or pieces like this, even wicker trays or baskets, to be attached to the wall and to create, wall art for your space, maybe behind a console table, or that kind of a thing, right? And so you want to think of how you can reuse pieces you already own and play with those principles. First, what function does it serve? Is there a specific function for that piece? So if it's a tray that is on your kitchen counter, assign a specific task for it. Maybe it's for your mail. Maybe that's the tray where all your mail goes when you walk into the house. Or maybe it's a tray where your electronics go. You assign the function and the functionality of that item in your space so that it always becomes the home for that task, okay? And then the other thing you can do is mix the colors around in your home. So if you have a room that has too much blue or too much white and it feels off, then what if you removed a piece of that color from the room and added into another space and then change it up? Mix colors that are complementary, mix colors that are monochromatic to create a more neutral background. So a lot of people love that sort of monochromatic feeling, but other people feel really bored with it. You have to know what you like, what makes you feel good, what you're attracted to. One of the biggest mistakes I also see people make is that they look at these inspirational images, their Pinterest boards, and then decide that instead of trying to really objectively analyze the picture to see the size, the scale, the colors, the materials, and the textures, they just go with the small things from the picture. So maybe they like the pillows or the candles, and they go and buy a ton of them and start cluttering their home with more little things instead of investing in key pieces like the mirrors or the big wall art pieces that they're seeing in these pictures that are actually what make their room feel put together. So there's a lot of goodness in what I just shared. There's a lot of creative ways that this can be approached. Inside of the Sacred Interiors Academy, not only do we learn what we like, not only do you learn what it is that you're really attracted to, but you also learn to understand why. You learn to understand why it makes you feel a specific way, what it is that you're trying to achieve as far as not just the functionality of the room and of the home, what tasks you want to, carry out in the spaces, but also what it is that you want to be reminded of with these pieces and these items. Because it is key that more than buying these pieces as expensive pieces, we need to put intention and meaningfulness into it. What do they represent? What are they made out of? Where do they come from? Who makes them? Who sells them? Who benefits from you investing into these pieces? That's something I love working with. But most importantly, what does it remind you of, and what is your energetic goal and your energetic connection to the room, to the memories you want to create in the room, to the kinds of activities you want to have in the room, and then go deep into why you want that and how you want it. So I mentioned the love making, for example, at the beginning of the video, right? Where do you make love with your spouse or your partner in your home, and how does that feel, and what is it that you want to achieve with that? It's creating these sacred spaces is an opportunity to shift what you have been habitually been accustomed to doing, and to really shift it into what you really want to do instead, and how you really want to feel instead while you're doing it. This is what makes the sacred lifestyle much more than just a makeover and a transformation. And using these decor and interior design universal principles are merely tools. They're just tools for this deeper sense of sacredness, for this deeper sense of self-development that we are trying to live by and embody and really be in the present with. And so I really invite you to check out my Academy page. I'm going to be posting a full page with all the details you need to know about what this program is about. We are starting our group program on December 1st, so I'm super excited to actually set it up with a beginning and an end, as opposed to you going at your own pace all of the time. I have found that there is a lot more accountability that comes in transforming your spaces when there's a group energy going. The women who have been in my academy in the past have been able to, my God, transform their spaces from boring, empty, blah, depressing. I'm being really harsh, but it's true. These are the spaces these women have had before we worked together. They were empty, they were, unengaging, they were frustrating, they were chaotic, they were cluttered, they were stressful, they were just plain ugly. And I say that with the most compassion, because what really matters is the determination and the commitment to shift and to make a change when you're ready to not stay in the same place for one more day. And this is what the practices that I teach you inside of my academy do. This is what these practices help you achieve. They help you achieve very tangible results that not only do you feel, but you also get to see. You get to taste, you get to smell, you get to feel, and also everyone else within your home notices and experiences too. So it's a deep, deep, deep transformation, the one that we go through in the Interiors Academy, Sacred Interiors Academy. And so in this page, I'm going to share with you, there are testimonials from people who have done my program, from people who have designed their homes with me. You will see pricing, you will see what the investment opportunities are and the payment plans that I'm offering for this container and for the sacred space that we are starting and are opening on December 1st. So we're going to be diving deeper into the other principles of the science of sacred interiors as well in this group, inside of the Sacred Interiors Academy group. I'm here every week, for sure, every Tuesday, but as we continue to build a momentum for this course and for this transformational program that starts on December 1st, you're going to be seeing me here more often, and you're going to also be seeing a lot of just before and afters, and a lot of testimonials from other women who have been a part of this process, because something that warms my heart up so much, and really, my God, really what keeps me going and what really keeps me serving in this way and keeps me committed to this dream of mine of Sacred Interiors by Paula is seeing the transformation these women go through and receiving their text messages at like 10, 11 o'clock at night when they finally had a chance to sit down in their new space, and they're having those moments of enjoying cuddling with their new lover, the lover that they set the intention to create and to attract at the very beginning of the program. And here they are, sitting in their brand new design room with their new partner, with their dog, with their children, with their friends, enjoying the moment almost like in an overwhelming way, almost experiencing just overwhelming gratitude, for that magic and those moments that they have manifested through their commitment. And it all starts in this physical world. It's not just a thing you change your mind around. It's not just a thing that those people who are spiritual, quote unquote, can achieve. It's not just a thing that people with money achieve. It is something that starts inside those four walls of your home. It starts within your own inner home, your home of your body, of your mind, of your heart, and it manifests into deeper areas of your life, your career, your romantic relationships, your family, your health. And so I urge you and I invite you to just binge watch these trainings, really get a sense and the depth of the work that I do. And if you have any questions about enrolling in the academy, you can just reach me through here. I'm going to post the links below for you to have more access and more information. And other than that, I wish you a beautiful night. Please let me know that you were here. If you're watching the replay, say hello and ask me any questions you might have about your home. I love engaging with what you're creating in your space and what you're creating inside of your sacred home. So ask me anything about your decoration. And also, actually, before I go, inside of the academy, you get many, many bonuses, which you'll get more details of inside the page you're going to see. But one of the best things is that you get one-on-one calls with me where we get to not just unpack the teachings that you learn from the course itself, but also you get to pick my brain about every single room of your house and every single room in your home or your workspace where, you know, I will give you full feedback on what you need to do to shift energy, to shift anything that isn't working, and how we can get it to flow more smoothly and look and feel more beautiful. And then last but not least, which is the part that many of my clients adore and love, is you get to have a room fully designed by me. So based on those specific space planning needs you have, based on the style, the intentions you're creating, the functionality, and also based on the specific budget that you set out to invest in your space, you also get that room fully designed by me. So it's a really great experience and a really good insight into what it's like to work with a professional interior designer in this spiritual approach and in this physical approach as well. So that's all I have for you today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this sacred community, and I will see you soon. Sat Nam.